fuck happened last time? It was after the Diane Vietnam episode.
It was the woman that he knows on set of his show.
Oh, the singing.
These, what are those called?
Horror?
No.
Rock-wise?
What?
I was thinking of puppet rock.
The fucking
Operas. I don't know.
The sock opera? Like a rock opera?
I don't know why I was thinking.
No, it was a musical. She liked a musical.
Yeah.
It had to do with corn, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And he tried to do a good thing by her to let her sing that. And it was also with the pug and Mr. Peanut Butter.
And Todd and all that fucking KY.
Todd
and the lubrication.
Oh my god, and the axolotl.
Yeah, let's actually, you know what? That was our pre-talk. Let's jump in.
Please here's how it's gonna go down, sweet cheeks. You're gonna let me go. If you're lucky, I might even hug your boobies.
Oh god. Let's give it a listen, shall we?
I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna murder my daughter. I don't respect women. You're out there hanging out with your dirty Swedish friends. With my wife beside me, and my daughter, and my good friends.
Stellan?
Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård!
From public life. This is the last.
He's a great Swede.
Remind them how good you are. Maybe by taking a meaty role on my gritty prestige television show, Filbert. Once word gets out that it's okay to hire you again, all the other offers will come rolling in. Producers are like lemmings.
It up, a bunch of dude bros call me a dumb slunt, and Vance's career chugs right along.
So stellar. And while you're there, you can ask your friend BoJack why Vance is gonna co-star on his new TV show.
He's what? Oh, wow!
Filling in for a Mario Lopez type, 'tis I, Mr. Peanut Butter. And looky here! Super.
What a handsome man, Mario Lopez. That motherfucker's aged.
Guy.
That's not fair. Who are you excited to see tonight?
So many amazing stars are being forgiven tonight. Megyn Kelly, Mark Wahlberg. Look, every actor has a range, and maybe...
So don't touch that remote. Or else.
There's no one this town loves.
4-time forgive me.
Can't have two stars. All the greatest detective shows are focused around a central, usually titular character. BoJack, Monk.
True Detective, though.
Who's Nick?
One of the greatest.
Horseman forcefully forgoes applause for Vance at Forgivies. Is a feud forming on the Filbert front? That's the buzz around town, and the question on everybody's mind is, why the strong face?
He made the face in protest.
Remember when Vance locked that shot girl in a hotel room and said, I got pizzazz, while masturbating into a champagne flute? Because BoJack remembers.
God damn it! The whole point of the award was to put the past.
TV and explain this unfortunate faux pas du fromage. Won't you, BoJack?
Ugh, fine. Once again, hero BoJack will clean up everyone else's mess.
I'm tough enough to play the bad boy parts.
Oh no!
Todd, you're the toughest guy I know. Will you teach me how to be tough?
I thought you would never ask.
Because I had no idea that...
It is really incredible you're taking a stand against your own co-star.
No, I'm not taking any stand.
I mean, the guy choked his wife. And most of Hollywood, like...
It's not good he choked his wife.
Wow.
No. I wasn't trying to...
Sounds like The Voice.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you how amazing it is to hear a man say that?
Well, Paloma, someone needed to take a stand.
No.
But how
getting
about
sucked
we
into
don't
it.
choke any
Yeah.
women?
You get sucked into that virtue signaling, and it elevates your career, and...
Yeah.
And then you have the masses.
Yeah. That's hard.
Who was it? This comedian is on...
Then don't choke
He's on
women.
Joe Rogan. His name's Tim. Can't remember. He's hilarious. He's a fat guy.
How is it you
Came out as gay a
consistently
couple
do
years
the
ago.
opposite of the thing I need
There's a
you
lot
to
of
do?
wonderful
No,
women out
Mrs.
there.
Carolyn.
None of them want to veal. That's what he said.
BoJack really wants to work with you. He just got caught up...
Doesn't matter. I'm not doing the show anyway.
What?
Yeah, you were right. All it took was one offer. Once word got out I was doing Filbert, all the other offers started pouring in.
You signed a contract to see myself succeed, which since I'm a woman is actually very feminist. But now that Vance can help me succeed, I realize the more feminist thing to do is to make sure he doesn't succeed either.
I'm cynical.
That's a good point. People do listen to me all the time. One time I tweeted R.I.P. David Bowie, and now everyone still thinks he's dead.
David Bowie is dead.
Wait, for real? Oh, man.
So,
I RIP'd Gus on Facebook one time, and then I got a ton of calls, and his fiance at the time's mom called me, and she never called me in her life.
Hey, you got one for me, Tuffy?
Sorry, bud.
Not yet, you're not. But you can bet your candy ass you're gonna be.
Oh, what the?
What do you say to that?
Thank you so much. No more. That was my last cigarette. Thank you. You sweet, sweet soul.
Oh, kiss his nose.
Ellen makes middle America less afraid of gay people, but it could also normalize things for bad, like what Jack Bauer did for torture, or what Jimmy Fallon did for lip syncing. So, when we give a platform...
Jack Bauer's a fucking man, and he didn't normalize it. There's a vocal minority that talked about, is it normalizing torture? And they were like, no, it's not.
Just sprinkle in a few words like intersectionality or microaggressions, and Vice News will name you Feminist of the Year.
Oh, should I wear a t-shirt that says feminism is bae? Girls love shit like that, right?
It's great because it's like making fun of both kind of sides.
What else would you have him do? Let's say you can make him do anything you want to make things right. What would you make Vance Wagner do now?
Nothing. I don't think he can make things right.
Well, then what do you hope to accomplish? You've given me a lot to think about.
Oh.
So, in conclusion...
Gratuitous sexual violence, protracted lascivious nude scenes. Maybe BoJack Horseman thinks that's all in good fun. But I know it's toxic. And if I took part in it, I would be complicit. No, culpable for that toxicity.
It's where all the bad boys party. Charlie Sheen, Chris Brown, Subway Jared. Great.
I'll waltz right in, fight a few bouncers, throw
Subway
a drink in a face,
Jared.
and...
Oh. Yeah.
Oh my god, are you guys okay?
Did you hear that?
No.
Exactly. No more clicking. You fixed my TMJ, which means no more wearing...
It's fixed! My depth perception is so much better now! I'm gonna go watch a Wes Anderson movie and see if I can perceive any depth in it!
Which would be really bad for women everywhere. So, in order to save feminism, you need to give me some smart-sounding reasons why Filbert isn't what it so obviously is, so that I can continue to be a hero and role model.
Everything Vance said about these scripts is true. Being a woman is not a hobby or a pet interest of mine. You get to drop in and play Joss Whedon and everybody cheers. But when you move on to your next thing, I'm still here.
Okay, yeah, I totally get that.
I did not read it.
Look, obviously when you take plot points out of context, they can seem unsavory, but they're all part of a larger attempt to deconstruct toxic masculinity.
Ooh, sounds glamorous.
It doesn't glamorize anything, but maybe it normalizes it. I gotta go.
Okay.
If more people are going to watch this show than read anything you've ever written, I'm giving you the opportunity to change society for the better.
Nothing I do changes anything.
No, it changed me.
But after all, a democracy is only as strong as its populace is informed.
No. I was trying to...
Hey, let's cheer once for this kind stranger. Hip hip, hooray!
Just play everywhere he goes. Just the woman down.
Enthusiastic, with zero baggage.
You know who would be perfect?
Sit in my office, don't chew too loud, and collect your paycheck. Then, when the show comes out, people will see your name in the credits and say, huh, a lady worked on the show. Guess it's not sexist.
I can contribute more than that.
Hello, Diane.
Jesus Christ! I locked the doors this time.
I broke your window.
Because I needed to talk to you.
And then plowed his Hummer into the side of the Grauman's Egyptian theater.
Not the Chinese theater?
Anyway, his career is over. For about 2 or 3 years, and then he'll be fine again.
There was a girl.
What?
In New Mexico. And she trusted me.
What?
If her mother didn't walk in, would I have done it? And part of me is sure that I couldn't. But another part knows that's a lie. How do you make something right when you've made it so wrong you can never go back?
Jesus.
And what did you think?
That was a great, nuanced, really multi-layered episode.
It was.
Because, I mean, I guess straight up, I think people, when they do something shitty, short of sexting a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, like, you and I love Mel Gibson. And I think, you know, the report of what he did, like, the anti-Semitic things he said during his arrest when he was drunk in the voicemail, I think that sucked. But I think like the great Robert Downey Jr. said, who he helped get sober. It's time to forgive this man. And I hate when I see people bring that up over and over again. And there's examples
if there's not repeated examples, then yeah.
Yeah, and there's examples like that where people dig up dirt from something. Like, sometimes it is a bad mistake that you made years ago, but it's like, okay, I'm sorry. I think he did pay for it. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think Bill Burr said it best. Like, some of these people, his heroes, they make mistakes, and then they get ripped in half.
Yeah.
And then the media demonizes them.
You also can't, I mean, this is all in context.
Yeah.
You have to consider the fact that it all depends on the circumstances and whatnot, and some of them have done worse things than others.
Yeah.
But let's say a guy that's, I don't know, any one of them that have just committed adultery.
Yeah.
Just cheated on their wives or whatever. And Bill Burr was referring to that.
Yeah, he was referring to that specifically, I think.
Yeah. He said, you know, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
To be that famous and just bust into the scene being a nobody, a block layer or a bricklayer or whatever Arnold was. All of a sudden, you're one of the number one faces in the world. And
he's a bodybuilder.
Throwing themselves at you.
Yeah.
And
he brings up Tiger Woods as well.
Yeah, and I get that a lot of people are like, whoa, oh my God. They go, oh, what would that be like? What's wrong with you? Like, it's, like, I don't care. Like, it just, temptation is temptation.
Yeah.
And once you're there, you can't really relate to the circumstances. You can sit back in your little dark basement like we're in right now, or it's a little.
Yeah, people don't. But he said people don't know what it's like to be tempted at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I knew a guy, and he talked about how he never struggled with that type of thing. But like, if you're not tempted,
you're basically saying like, if you aren't tried.
Yeah, then you
can't just sit there and like be self-righteous about it. It's like, well, I'm a good person
because I never. Yeah.
But you've never proven it.
Yeah,
and like some people will say, well, you shouldn't have to prove that you're a good person. It's like, well, no, because obviously we're all about signaling at this day and age.
And this thing is all about because it's about
you're a good person.
Yeah.
That's for some reason I have to go to church every Sunday to show you that in my community, to show you I'm part of the community, whether or not I'm a Christian or not.
Yeah.
But you have to show you I'm part of the community, to show I'm a good person.
Yeah.
I have to show you that my lawn is cut. I have to show you that I can show up with a haircut.
Yeah.
I have to show you all these fucking things to show I'm a good person.
Yeah.
And I want to show you that you can shove it up your ass because fuck you.
No, I agree. Like, we live in an age now to where virtue signaling, like we see it in Hollywood, especially, and this is what I was talking about. We see it in politics for sure. And I've been wrapped up into like having to do certain things before. And it's just an unfortunate deal. Like like BoJack trying to virtue signal so that way he can basically elevate himself, and that's why people do it. Like,
well, he got caught up in the grandeur of his own.
Yeah,
he was being a grandeur.
His own legend, or not his own legend, but his own.
They were like, oh, BoJack this, BoJack that. Like, oh yeah, well, and then he realized he was getting applause,
and then we have
acclaim for what he was saying, for participating in it. So.
And like the one true, like righteous, seemingly good person, this is Diane.
Yeah.
Like, she, obviously believes everything she's saying. She wants to do the right thing. Yeah, she walks the walk, talks the talk, from what I understand.
Diane and Todd are not coupled.
No, they're not. Although, if she did go into that meeting and just sat there not chewing so loudly to collect a paycheck, that would, people make mistakes, but if she did do that, that would go against what she typically represents.
I can't imagine she's going to.
No, I don't think she is. But now that what's she going to do?
Like the introductory phase with the guy's whipping his dick out, saying like, being cock of the walk, like this is what you're going to do, and you're going to do it. Like any guy, it could be a guy having a conversation with another guy doing that because people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's big introductions where they have to put the chest out, make themselves out, first impressions and all that. But you realize at some point in your life you can just dismiss that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck those guys. Like that's there for them to make them feel like they're in their place, in their position, and they have the power. But you still fuck them over later, and who cares? So fuck.
Before I forgot, is there an actor that you can recall? I got a couple, and obviously one of them, who wasn't normally typecasted into like tough guy roles, and then they eventually were able to prove like that. Hey, I can act outside this little bubble, and I can't.
Robert Pattinson is the only one that comes to mind immediately. And,
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And
I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I haven't seen anything real gritty with him, but I love that guy.
He was in Looper.
Oh yeah, Looper.
He was in Brick.
I didn't see Brick.
He wasn't really a tough guy in the one with Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels is in Looper too, but where Jeff.
I fucking love that movie you're talking about.
But
The one where
blind.
Jeff Daniels is blind.
Bone. Yeah, but he has the memory shit.
Yeah, he's got the thing because he got in that fucking car accident when he was in high school.
Wrecked into a goddamn combine. He's driving like a fool in the middle of the night and then turned his lights off in the dark.
That's a great fucking movie.
It is.
Well, Robert Pattinson's a great example because a lot of people wouldn't want to give him a chance.
Yeah.
And then he proved that he can do a lot of great things. I was thinking Matthew McConaughey. He really turned his career around.
I've been around, I guess, long enough to know that he's been cool for a while. So.
Well, yeah,
he's never been as coolest as he was in True Detective. But
yeah, well, have you seen? It's not called Meet Joe Black. That's
Killer Joe.
Killer Joe.
I've seen part of it. I haven't seen it.
I absolutely love that movie. True Detective is one of my favorite things ever, though. But he stopped acting for a couple years because he couldn't get anything other than these romantic comedies.
Yeah.
So he did. What's that one where? Mud. He did Mud.
Yeah.
He did a couple other small indie things that were gritty, and then he did True Detective, and then he did Killer Joe, and then he did Interstellar, and that was like I think when he said he had to do that for himself because he was sick and tired of these fucking romantic comedies. He had to prove that he could play a gritty role. So I got him, and I can't remember his name, the guy from The Shield. His name is Mike, or maybe it's his name is
bald guy.
Yeah, the bald guy. So
he told me he got jacked when he got that role.
Yeah, he was in Seinfeld as this goofy ass balding. He's always played these fat, bubbly comedic roles, and then he told his wife, "I'm sick of this shit." So he got in shape, shaved his head, started trying to go for badass things. He got cast in The Shield, which if you watch it now, it feels aged because it's like the bad cop thing. So it kind of came out at the time when what's that Denzel Washington movie? That great fucking movie.
John Q.
No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
The one where Training Day.
Oh.
It's kind of like that, except it's like multiple seasons of that. But so that's what I was thinking of when Mr. Peanut Butter with his storyline trying to like break into these gritty genre, and he can't because he's this sweet lovable guy. He's probably typecast as those type of things too.
I can't think of anybody else that really stands out that's taken on one of those roles.
I'll tell you what, I didn't expect Heath Ledger to give me one of the best performances I've ever seen ever when he played the Joker. I think no one did.
No, but I guess I didn't like also imagine him as always just like a heartthrob. Like a Robert Pattinson type where he did these fucking Twilight films.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he turns around. He did what no one in the Harry Potter cast has been able to do as far as the kids. I mean, obviously the elder people have already done this.
I haven't seen all Daniel Radcliffe's movies, but I hear he's
done some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really ever come off as anyone other than like Harry Potter got dumped in this other dimension. And now all this crazy shit's happening here.
Yeah.
Like that's all the feeling I ever get from him. It's sad to say because I'm sure he wants to break out of that.
Yeah, he seems to be like on a surface level stuff I hear about, the one very serious about acting and try to serious about serious roles. Emma, what's her name?
Watson.
She's done some very dramatic things. She hasn't done like
no, but I'm sorry. Maybe it's because we were kind of in our preteen and teen years when those movies are coming out.
Yeah.
But now they're solidified forever for me.
Yeah.
As those people. And Rupert Grint.
It could be
Emma
worse.
Watson and Daniel, what's his name?
Radcliffe.
They are all stuck there.
Yeah.
They will never escape.
Yeah.
That is where they're at. The Draco kid, maybe he'll get out of there and make something of himself.
Maybe. I haven't seen him much, but he's fantastic.
There's so many other
I will
people
say that's funny is I was listening to a podcast the other day with that Malfoy kid. And he seems like a hell of a nice guy, actually. He was on a podcast and he just talked about people coming up to him, but the people don't recognize him a lot because he's scruffy and he doesn't have white hair. Mm-hmm. But when people do, they're like, "Oh, what do they say?" He's like, and he actually is really good with fans. I heard he's very good with fans. Mm-hmm. He loves when people come up to him. But he says, "Well, they try to give me say lines from the movies, except he does it in a British accent. I'm not going to attempt to do that." And he's like, like Potter.
Yeah.
And you know how he says Potter in a movie, and he did it as an older guy. It was the fucking funniest thing. So it was just so damn funny that people come up to him and say Potter like bitterly. You know what I mean? Potter. It was funny. And he seems like a really good sport about it. So
that's good.
Yeah.
He have a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, and that's why like Mark Hamill, he always had a really good head about like, I guess I'm Luke. It
could be my understanding that like Harrison Ford's always been kind of a grumpy guy.
He has. Like, he was grumpy back then. He's grumpy now.
Yeah.
So it just. But he's also owned that persona because he goes on to Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, he does that.
Jimmy Fallon.
A lot of roles he gets are grumpy.
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, if you're typecasted to that, that's cool. I guess you get to play these cool starring roles. This was a great episode because obviously it's shitty when people can do something real bad, and they keep coming back. And yeah, I know you don't
because the mob is fickle.
Yeah, but at the same time, the mob in the other way is fickle when it comes to virtue signaling and like snowballing.
Trends.
We had The View on there, and they've said some really stupid things in my opinion.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg said that what Jews weren't actually.
Yeah, like that the Holocaust wasn't about color.
Yeah,
and then they made her apologize for it, and she still left a little wiggle room in there. So I love Ghost. I loved her in Star Trek. I haven't really seen other things in there.
She's in Ghost.
Yeah, she plays. Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
well, that Demi Moore's in it.
Yeah, and Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze.
She's in it.
Stupid ass pot making scene.
But... Yeah, she's in it. Well, my aunt show used to watch it all the time.
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
that's the only part of that movie I've ever seen.
When I was a little kid, I remember liking that movie, and I literally haven't seen it in 25 years. Probably
clay pots. Ghost.
Yeah, but Ghost. So they were spoofing that, and BoJack was in a situation that he didn't necessarily want to be in, and he was feeding off the energy of the audience, and he adopted that feminist ideology. Not in a way Diane, who authentically wants, I think, equality. Not feminism as in we want women to be better. She just wants equality. And BoJack obviously is virtue signaling for himself.
Well, she wants them to be people to answer for their actions.
Yeah, and I think that's great.
And not to be just patted on the shoulder and turned around and recycled.
Yeah, Vance Wagner does seem like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But there are people out there, and I think the show knows this because it's a smart show. There's people out there who should be forgiven. And I think that's important too. And I think we both agreed there, right?
Well, the problem with the media is that it recycles people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some of them that never made a comeback.
Yeah.
But some of them are blacklisted even harder for things that have nothing to do with the horrible shit that other people have done. But like John Voight.
Yeah.
Didn't he get blacklisted for being a conservative?
From what I understand, but
it could also go both ways. I mean, he may have been offered roles and he just didn't want anything to do with the establishment. Maybe he's embittered. I don't know much about the guy.
Yeah, so, I heard he was. So I don't know how much credibility, but I haven't seen him in anything for a while.
Well, anything we ever hear is just what we hear. We really don't. No one ever takes the time to investigate any of the information anymore.
Yeah,
you just take the media's word for it, even if they're just saying that reportedly this happened.
Yeah,
you immediately think, that guy's this.
Yeah,
that woman's that.
Well, I think people are starting to wake up to the fact that the media has been bullshitting people, especially in politics, especially just on the surface level, like you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
This, I don't want to say it's the best episode this season, but this was a great one in terms of the nuanced and the conversation we had, I think.
Yep.
There wasn't a lot of funny stuff, but that's okay because it gave us a lot of deep stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Other than that, I don't think I got anything else.
I never had it anyway.
Guy, thank you so much for watching our reaction. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the comments. People seem to really love the show, and I'm glad that we're watching it. If you want to help us out, check out our merch, check out our Patreon, see the next 2 episodes on there, and also just leave a comment. I think I already said that.
It's all about the money.
Yeah. I guess we just have time for one thing, but that's fine.